I've seen the world change. I've watched time slip by, like sand through an old man's fingers. And I'll tell you this. As we age, we are told to slow down, to take a step back. But how many of us truly understand what that means? The world tells us to keep moving, keep pushing, always striving for more. We are made to believe that to be happy, we must work harder, accumulate more, achieve more. But what if this is all wrong? What if the secret to happiness in our later years isn't in doing more, but in doing less? You see, Buddhism teaches us a powerful truth that true joy doesn't come from the chase. It doesn't lie in endless striving or gathering of possessions, accolades, or recognition. No, happiness comes when we learn the art of letting go. Of releasing what no longer serves us, what weighs us down. This, my friend, is the quiet secret many overlook. And as you grow older, the greatest gift you will receive is not what you acquire, but what you choose to release. But here's the thing, this isn't about giving up or neglecting life. It's about making wise choices about where to place your energy, focus, and heart. I won't tell you everything now. But I promise, as you listen, you may just uncover the most unexpected truth of all. Stop overthinking what others think of you. As we journey through life, there comes a shift. The moment we begin to realize that seeking others' approval no longer defines our worth. The Buddha teaches us that attachment to others' judgments binds us. It pulls us away from the peace we can find within. This wisdom only deepens as we grow older. For aging offers us the freedom to let go of external validation. In our youth, we are consumed by the desire for approval. It can dominate every decision we make. What we wear, how we speak, where we go. We walk through life constantly checking others' opinions, wondering if we are enough, if we are liked. But with time, we start to see the futility of this pursuit. Approval is a fleeting illusion, just like chasing the wind. The more we chase it, the more we distance ourselves from who we truly are. An elderly man, for most of his life, sought approval. He tried to fit into molds that were never made for him. Yet, in his later years, he found exhaustion in this endless pursuit. He realized that no amount of validation could satisfy the hunger for peace within. So, he let go. He stopped asking for permission to be himself. Embraced his individuality with full acceptance. The relief was profound. It was like shedding a weight he had carried for decades. Peace, he found, was not in how others saw him. It was in how he saw himself. True happiness comes from within, from the courage to be who you are, without needing to meet anyone else's expectations. The lesson is simple. As we grow older, stop seeking validation. Instead, seek self-acceptance. Only then do we find the true essence of happiness. Stop wasting energy on arguments and drama. In the quiet wisdom of age, we come to see how pointless most arguments are. Throughout life, we find ourselves defending our beliefs, trying to convince others of our point of view. But as the years unfold, we realize that these battles, fueled by ego, rarely bring peace. They only drain us, leaving us agitated and disconnected. An elderly man, for years, had been embroiled in heated arguments with his family. He believed that if he presented the right facts, the right logic, they would see things his way. But over time, he grew tired. One day, in the midst of a fierce debate, he chose silence. He didn't argue, he didn't fight. He stepped back, not out of fear, but because he realized the value of peace. In that silence, he found freedom. No longer bound by the need to win, he observed from a place of calm. He understood arguing is not the path to peace. Silence is. The need to be right dissipated. In its place, he found deep serenity. He learned that peace comes not from winning every argument, but from walking away from the ones that don't serve us. The lesson is powerful. Stop engaging in every dispute. Choose your battles wisely. Peace is found not in defending yourself, but in choosing silence and letting go of the drama. When we stop trying to prove ourselves, we create space for wisdom and tranquility. Stop trying to fix everyone's problems. For much of our lives, we believe it is our duty to fix the problems of those we love. We become caretakers, advisors, and problem solvers, thinking that by offering our solutions, we can help others find peace. But as we age, we realize we cannot carry the weight of others' struggles. It is not our job to fix everything. Each person must walk their own path. An elderly woman spent years trying to help her children. She offered advice, gave financial assistance, and always tried to be their rock. But over time, she began to see that her constant involvement wasn't helping them grow. Her children became dependent on her, unable to stand on their own. This realization came slowly but powerfully. And one day, she decided to step back. At first, it was difficult. She wanted to help. She wanted to fix things. But as time passed, she understood that stepping back was the greatest act of love. By letting her children face their own challenges, they would grow, just as she had. Compassion, she learned, does not mean absorbing others' burdens. It means offering support while allowing them the space to find their own strength. The lesson is profound. We cannot solve everyone's problems. Let go of the need to fix others. Offer compassion and guidance without becoming entangled in their struggles. By doing so, you allow them and yourself to grow. You empower them to find their own way. And you free yourself from the burden of carrying what is not yours to bear. Stop chasing perfection and let go of regret. The pursuit of perfection is exhausting. It is ultimately futile. We often chase an ideal that is impossible to reach. We think that only by being flawless can we be happy. But aging brings a beautiful wisdom. Imperfection is not a flaw, it is part of the human experience. The sooner we embrace our imperfections, the sooner we find peace. I recall a woman who spent many years regretting the dreams she hadn't pursued. She wished she had taken different paths, made different choices. She carried the weight of what-ifs for years. But as she aged, she saw that her past, with all its mistakes and detours, was what had shaped her into who she was. She no longer saw her regrets as burdens, but as stepping stones on her journey. This realization gave her peace. She no longer chased perfection. She no longer let regret cloud her mind. She understood that mistakes were not failures. They were lessons that led her to wisdom. By letting go of her need for perfection, she found a sense of freedom. She had lived authentically, and that was enough. The lesson is liberating. Perfection is a myth. Life is not about flawless accomplishments, but about embracing the beauty of our imperfections. Let go of regret, for it only binds you to a past you cannot change. Accept yourself as you are and live authentically. The imperfections in your life are what make you uniquely you. And they are the very source of your strength. Stop accumulating unnecessary things. In our younger years, we believe that material possessions will bring us happiness. We think they will bring us security, fulfillment. We strive to gather more new clothes, a bigger home, the latest gadgets. We believe these things will fill the void we feel inside. We become obsessed with accumulating possessions, thinking they will somehow bring us lasting joy. But as the years pass, we begin to realize that the pursuit of things doesn't lead to fulfillment. Instead, it burdens us. It weighs us down. And it distracts us from what truly matters. An elderly man shared his experience of letting go of possessions after retirement. For most of his life, he worked tirelessly to accumulate things. Furniture, clothes, trinkets he believed they would make him happy. But after retiring, he decided to downsize. He gave away items he no longer needed. He let go of things that no longer served him. In doing so, he felt an unexpected lightness, a freedom he had never known before. The more he released, the more he realized that true happiness wasn't in what he owned. It was in the experiences he had lived. It was in the relationships he had nurtured over the years. The lesson is profound. Real wealth is not in the material possessions we accumulate, but in the experiences we gather and the relationships we cherish. The more we hold on to things, the more we are bound by them. When we let go of the need to accumulate, we free ourselves. We create space to experience the fullness of life. By living simply and owning less, we can appreciate what truly brings us joy. Connections, memories, and moments that last far longer than any material object ever could. Stop trying to please everyone. One of the most exhausting habits we can develop is the need to please everyone around us. Whether it's family, friends, or colleagues. We may constantly say yes to requests, even when we don't want to. We say yes out of guilt, out of fear of disappointing others, or the desire to be liked. We sacrifice our happiness, thinking that by fulfilling others' needs, we will be loved and accepted. But as we age, we begin to realize that this constant need to please others is unsustainable. In fact, it leaves us drained, resentful, and disconnected from our own desires. An elderly man recalled how, for much of his life, he tried to please everyone. He said yes out of obligation, even at the cost of his own happiness. But over time, he saw that this approach wasn't serving him. He felt depleted, constantly putting others' needs before his own. One day, he made a powerful decision. He began to say no when he needed to, without guilt. He started to prioritize his own well-being. He focused on what truly brought him peace and joy. And in that shift, he found true freedom. No longer was he trapped by the expectations of others. He was living for himself. The lesson here is simple. Self-care is essential. You do not need to please everyone. You do not need to sacrifice your happiness for the sake of others. Surround yourself with people who value and respect you for who you truly are. Let go of the pressure to meet everyone else's expectations. By setting boundaries and focusing on your own needs, you create space for joy, peace, and authenticity in your life. Stop rushing through life. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the constant rush. We race from one task to the next, ticking off items on our to-do lists, always looking ahead to the next milestone. In doing so, we miss the beauty of the present moment. But as we age, we realize that life is not a race. It's not about moving quickly from one achievement to another. It's about savoring the moments we have right now, fully experiencing the world around us. An elderly woman shared how, in her younger years, she was always rushing through life. She was constantly planning for the future, thinking about the next thing she had to do, never taking the time to just be. But as she grew older, she decided to slow down. She started taking long walks, breathing in the fresh air, appreciating the beauty of nature, savoring the little moments. She realized that by slowing down, she was able to experience life more deeply. The world became more vivid, more alive. She noticed the small details, the way sunlight danced on the leaves, the sound of birds singing, the softness of the wind on her face. The lesson here is profound. Life is not a race. It's about being present, fully immersed in the moment. We don't need to rush through life. We need to slow down and appreciate the beauty right in front of us. Let go of the urgency to accomplish more. Embrace the peace that comes with living slowly and mindfully. By doing so, you will find joy in the simplest of things, and experience life in its fullest form. Stop worrying about the future. Worrying about the future is a natural habit, especially as we grow older. We start to think about our health, our finances, the unknowns that lie ahead. But worry is a thief of joy. It keeps us trapped in an endless cycle of what-ifs, constantly imagining the worst possible outcomes, draining us of the energy we need to engage with the present. An elderly man reflected on how many years he spent worrying about things that never came to pass. He worried about his health. He worried about having enough money. He worried about what might happen to his loved ones. But as time went on, he realized that most of his worries were based on fears that never materialized. In his later years, he made a conscious decision to let go of worry. He stopped letting the unknowns of the future control his present. Instead, he focused on living fully in the now. He trusted that whatever came, he would have the strength to face it. The lesson is clear. Worry serves no purpose. It doesn't change the future. It doesn't ease your fears. It only robs you of the present. Let go of the need to control what you cannot control. Trust in the flow of life. Embrace the present moment, for it is the only time you truly have. By doing so, you will find peace and contentment, free from the heavy weight of worry. As the years unfold, time becomes an incredibly precious gift. With this gift, we are given the rare opportunity to release the burdens that have weighed us down. The clutter of material things, the heavy expectations, the struggles that no longer serve us. The pursuit of happiness shifts. It is no longer about doing more or collecting more. It is about the peace that comes when we let go. When we choose simplicity over complexity. And when we embrace the art of simply being. True happiness does not lie in what we possess or achieve, nor in the praise of others. It resides in the quiet peace of being present, in accepting what has passed, and in walking gently into the future. As you move through the later chapters of life, release the need to constantly push, to prove yourself, to chase after things that only leave you more weary. Instead, embrace the wisdom of slowing down. Make deliberate choices about where to invest your time, energy, and heart. In these 8 areas, consider embracing the art of laziness. Not as neglect, but as a purposeful, wise inaction that frees your spirit and lightens your soul. In letting go, you will uncover a joy that has always been there, quietly waiting for you to recognize it.